Listen to this track. Sometimes in art world, people say that things are subjective or art is subjective, and a lot of the time what I discover is that it's people who haven't been making art for very long in a vacuum or experimenting with making anything in a vacuum where people are a little bit further away than normal. Um, when it comes to the rate at which you complete something and then the how fast that completion is processed by a population. Sometimes your coworkers are right next to you, sometimes your classmates are right next to you, and then other times you make conscious decisions to separate yourself from pretense or and aware of yourself coming into contact with pretense. So to me, those are two different things. So something that people, come on, get up here. Something that people early on in their art processing journey will do is say that everything is subjective. And when they say that everything is subjective, what they're asking you to do is forget what you just said. Um, so it's kind of a stupid deletion protocol that they do. But when you say that, to me, when you say that something is subjective, you're saying that this thing exists by itself. And when you say it is subjective, you're limiting the category with your words for what, if it is not a porous system. So you're not even isolating a system. You're just saying you're isolating the word. You're just saying this is subjective. Um, so when you say that something is subjective, you're implying that the person is also subjective. And I think that it's hard to actually get honest with that in any specific way. So it's a trap at every level. I think it's more functionally, there's more functional potential energy in things if you say that they are just contextual. So that, to me, that goes a lot further than just saying that they're subjective. I think that things can be subjective and complicatedly also contextual. Um, like a good example would be enjoying something and then growing to hate it, and then certain things happen to your body, certain chemicals get released over certain cycles, certain chemical cycles or certain cycles of things that happen to you in life, which in turn cause chemical cycles, or chemical cycles cause things to happen to you in life. I think the more that you look into that, the more that you realize that those two things are not so easily separatable upon examination. So when we say that art is subjective, you're also implying the subjectivity of the human being. And I think that that is just so not functionally true. I think that that's just ridiculously hard to use in any kind of way that makes sense. It just, to me, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. This looks stupid. Well, everything is subjective. Have you ever thought about that? No, I don't think about anything. I don't think about anything. As soon as I found out that the universe is the universe describing itself, remembering itself, and forgetting itself, I just don't think about anything anymore. I'm being facetious and I'm not being facetious at the same time. Stupid and not stupid at the same time. Horrible and not horrible. Like, in a little bit, I might draw. I got this new Melt Banana CD, and I need to listen to it. I need to make a decision to listen to it so that I can grow as a person. I have to make a choice to grow as a person. I can make another choice to not grow as a person and not listen to the CD, but that might not mean that I'm not growing as a person. But because I had this thought to myself just now, it might mean that by not listening to the CD, I grow more as a person. But I think that that's maybe not true. I think that by forcing myself to do something, I am getting through chemical or emotional or both spiritual walls in my head that keep me from doing things. Um, and there's probably a sense of risk involved. Like if I choose to listen to the CD, I'm going to have to kind of set up my area a little bit. But I've been thinking a lot about how I feel better as a drawer, as a creative generating thing when my area for working in is kind of fucked up. And it's always been like that. And that would be a good example of something being contextual or a human being contextual. When I was a kid, my mom used to find me in my toy chest and I would put all the toys on myself. I would get everything out of the toy chest and then just kind of exist in it. And I think that because of certain things, maybe compounded on top of that, it would make it so that like I was the person who would never get bowls out of his room. But now I do that, but I can do that. But I still like to be surrounded by stuff. I have inclinations to clean all the stuff up and make it kind of up and away, but as a person, I don't find meaning in displaying things. I just can't. I find meaning in the pressures from a culture that tells me it's good to display things so that I can anticipate being seen, so that I can anticipate being processed and used and understood within the emotional, spiritual economy of human activity. I know that that is what I'm supposed to do, but as a like stupid kind of mad god idiot intertangled and destroying himself, I need to have stuff being used. I need to use it. I need to use it. The Aflac duck needs to be, it needs to be held. It needs to be understood. This Hot Wheels car that I hate needs to be understood. I need to see the horrible bottom that breaks the fiction of the beautiful car object for me. For me, a lot of things in life are just about seeing a fiction and exploring inside of it and having a horrible experience and then seeing the reality and then seeing that the reality of that thing is also just a larger or kind of smaller fiction that you live inside of. Sometimes what people refer to as reality is also a cultural fiction that you have more or less words for. So it's just life is a Gnostic diaper. It's a Gnostic diaper. Um, yeah, and I don't think that things are subjective. I think that's such a stupid, and I mean that in just like a really like self-hating, malicious way. Like just like almost like a pitch black demonic level of hatred I have for that kind of way of processing artwork as pieces, as works. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the fuck a billion years the smoke of Baal is fucking fumes through me. It doesn't make sense to me. Um it doesn't make sense. So it's not happening. I don't want it to happen. Reality is just who has a sharper sort of wit and sometimes like a like a maybe artillery weapons on the back of a lifted Camry. It's like, so I think that it's terrible to talk about artwork when you are not actively making it. Terrible. I think it's one of the worst things that you can do. I think it conflates, confuses, and distorts and just totally rends and rots and tears the fucking heaping pile of electrified gore of the concept. Like that new Piss Grave album, Malignant Worthlessness. I got it on vinyl. I got it on wax. I need to get it. J Dog. I got it on wax. Um, yeah. Pain is not good for you. It just is going on. Um, so grow a pair. All people all over the world grow a pair. Do you know in Jamaica they call avocados pears? See, I told you it's not subjective, it's contextual. Time is different when you get next to something heavy, you know. Don't, guys, I know no one listens to these seriously, and they might not until it's, they might not listen to these until it's too late, until I'm gone, right? So, it's so important to just kind of suffer a little bit. Um, yeah, that it's really gonna help you with suffering, to suffer just on and off. So most of the suffering, a lot of the hardest suffering that we do is the walls in our head that we put around comfort and discomfort. I like to kind of move myself into positions that are extremely painful, by listening to music I hate, or by watching movies I hate, or like watching content creators that I hate and don't understand. It's like, it's just, I think it's good for you. I think it helps with the suffering. I think it helps with the pain. Um, do, 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 do. Um, yeah, like, be extremely cautious of people airing your head up. I mean, that's just going nowhere. If you're gonna be an artist, you need to be like a universal archetypal artist. You need to be this inane, insane, like incredible, disgusted, horrifying, quiet, and humiliated vessel for uncertain and uh, you know, unplanned responses for activities that you perform within a context. Amen. 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 Guys, be specific and let yourself humiliate yourself. Let yourself humiliate yourself, and do not feel bad about something. Just continue moving towards, right? Just continue moving towards an aspect of the context. So you have to contextualize even the language you use to think about yourself. You have to contextualize it. Art is, to me, all about a innate thing that you see and understand and then exist inside of. Seeing what you're doing and understanding it are way different than existing inside of it. One of those helps the other, and vice versa. But the problem with knowing that they assist each other is going to create a pretense problem in your head, and you have to actually not know that they assist each other in your primary brain, and then in maybe other lower or separate or more distended versions of yourself. um, you can see it and know it, but actively, when you're trying to make something or generate unexpected responses, or put yourself in a position where you can see things that you do in a different way, or if you try to view yourself as some kind of great filter where you go out into the world and collect things and bring them back, that's not